Alright, so this is your Thursday lesson. The actual name of the lesson is line plots, 1/2, 1/4, and 1/8 inches. And if you look, this is page 286 in your math journal. And on page 286 in your math journal, what they're going to give you is these different heights. We want to look at this column. I know it gives us length, but I'm not concerned with length right now. What I'm concerned with is the height. 3.5, 3 5/8, 3 5/8, 3 3/4, and so on. When you look down here, they give you what you need for a line plot. I'm going to see if I can make it a little bit bigger and still fit it all on. Excellent. So as you look at this, what you need to look at is that between 3 and 4, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fractional pieces. So this piece right here would be like 3 and 1/8, 3 2/8, 3 3/8. Now, the thing about 3 2/8, because if there is a 3 2/8, I gotta look and make sure here. There isn't, but 3 2/8 is gonna be the same as 3 1/4. Here's why. 3 1/8, 3 2/8. 3 1/2, 3 3/4, 4. Do you see the 4 jumps here? 1, 2, 3, 4. So this would be like 3 1/4 of a jump. This would be 3 3/3, 3 1/2, 3 5/8. Now this could be 3 6/8, but 3 6/8 could also be 3 3/4. And if you look at this, all that we're doing is changing our fourths to eighths and back. 3 times 2 is 6, 4 times 2 is 8. So that's kind of your help here. So what I need you to understand when we're doing this is that depending on where you are at the line plot, it's going to depend on what your label is. So I'm going to walk you kind of through this. This one right here is 3 1/8. This would be 3 1/4. 3 3/8. 3 1/2, because it's 3 4/8, 4 is half of 8. 3 5/8. 3 3/4, and this spot right here is 3 7/8. And that's going to be the pattern for all of these. 4 1/8, 4 1/4, 4 3/8, 4 1/2, 4 5/8, 4 3/4, or 4 3/4, 4 7/8, 5, 5 1/8, 5 1/4, 5 3/8, 5 1/2, 5 5/8, 5 3/4, and so on. So you kind of have to have that idea in your head. So what you need to do, and I'm going to help you with the first few of these, is you need to take these heights and put them on the line plot below. Now, I have to make mine a little bit smaller so that it fits on the screen and you can see the whole line plot. So taking a look at this, the first one is 3 1/2, which you have right here. Now the key when you're making your x's on your line plots is to make all of the x's the same size. So there's my 3 1/2, that was the first one. Then I have 3 5/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 5/8 is right next to it. I'm going to make it as close as I can to the same size x. I have another 3 5/8. About the same size x on top. Then I have a 3 3/4. Now remember, 6/8 equals 3/4. And 2/8 equals 1/4. 4/8 equals 1/2. So if I have, what did I say I have here? 3 3/4, I could count over 6/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 3 6/8 or 3 3/4. 3 7/8, you're just going to count over, and it would obviously just be one more. So what I need you to do is I need you to try and finish this. In total, you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. You should end up with 19 X's on here, and I've already got 5 of them up there for you. And so pause me and see how well you can do this. So if you're watching me, this means that you've already finished doing yours. Half. 4 3/4. So 4 3/4, I'd go over 4 6/8. Make them X. 5. 6. And then I have 3 5/8. That's 4/8, so this makes 5/8. 4 3/8. 1, 2, 3/8. 4 3/4. That'd be the same as 6/8. 4/8, 5/8, 6/8. A 5 1/4 would be 5 2/8 equal a fourth. 5 1/2, which is right on there. 5 3/4, and another 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So I have my 19 up there. Now, what I'm missing still is my title. And what were we putting on there? We were putting on envelope heights, because it's the height of envelopes. What are we measuring? We're measuring their height, and it's in inches. So what we're going to need is to be able to use these to answer some of the problems on the next page. We'll probably do 1 through 3. So I'm going to click over to page 283. You're still going to need your line plot, but we're going to probably go through these 3, and then I'll assign your math boxes. We'll finish the rest of it on Monday. So it says, what is the largest envelope height sold? So go back, look at your graph, and try and figure out what the largest one was, and write that in. What was the smallest height? Write that in. And then which one is stocked the most? That's the highest number of X's. So the largest one sold was 6 inches. The smallest one sold was 3 1/2. But what height was the most stocked? And if you look, there's one that had 3. There was one spot past 3 1/2. So that's 3. It's going to be eighths. Half is a 4/8, so it's one past that. It would be 3 5/8 inches is what you should have had. I know this is a little bit smaller lesson for a Thursday, so we're going to take a look at your math boxes. I'm going to assign about half of those for you to do. So taking a look at this. Alright, we've done something like this before. It says, how many degrees will Paula need to move the back of her chair to be able to lie flat? So we're looking at 2 different angles. We're looking at 3 different angles. You've got this angle right here, which we know. Here's your one angle. Plus this one, which we don't know. So you could write it this way. You could go red plus M, I don't know, whatever angle you want, equals this whole thing. What kind of angle is that? It's a straight angle, so you have to remember how many degrees a straight angle is. So I want you to do problem 1. We will save problem 2. So I'm not even going to go over that, we're going to save it. I want you to do problem 1, and I want you to save problem 2. Looking at 3 and 4, they're just adding and subtracting fractions. We should be getting good at that. Do A and B. Save C and D. Subtracting, do A and B. Save these two. And then explain your thinking for problem 1. Why don't you go ahead and do that? Okay? Alright guys, so that's your assignment for today. Good luck.